Man, at least I can increase this, right? Alright, whoa, okay. It also increased this. I wonder. Okay. I should do the job. What? Welcome Improvement Gang. My name is Mibra Zagoya, and I want to tell you something that if you smash the like button, you might just become a hero. Okay. Let's go into the video. Okay, so you and I are going to talk about emotional intelligence, but in order for us to go into that subject, we have to define what is emotional intelligence. For those of you who don't know, simply put, emotional intelligence is being able to manage your emotions and that of others. As a consequence, you're able to handle situations a whole lot much better than those who have low emotional intelligence, thus making you a leader. This is why you have heard that, in fact, emotional intelligence is a much better predictor than IQ in terms of success rate in their careers. So meaning that if your emotional intelligence is what's going to take you up there to make you earn more, you should be investing a little bit more into it, wouldn't you? Well, this means that if emotional intelligence is something to put your effort, then it should return a lot of success. However, that's not the case. You see, what is a little bit annoying about everyday life, about anything in life, is that you have to take everything in moderation. This rule applies to emotional intelligence, meaning you need to take it easy for many reasons. The first one is going to be overthinking. You see, a study from whatever. I'm gonna put it up there so you get to see the study and I don't have to butcher it anymore. In this study, they measured the emotional intelligence rate of the managers. And you know what they found out? They found out that the top 15% of emotional intelligent managers were given lower effective scores. So this goes into a little contradiction, don't you think, on the fact that more emotional intelligence means more success, meaning effectiveness, meaning productivity. Well, here is the case. You see, through logic, we might be able to decipher that those who possess high emotional intelligence should be able to handle a lot of situations, should be effective with their people, and they should be able to implement changes much more effectively than those who have lower emotional intelligence. So why on earth do we see the opposite of this happening? That is the overanalyzation of the situation, of the changes, of anything that presented in the workplace. Because people, they have two choices when faced with a new situation, with a choice, either to react with it or to respond. Reacting to something is not always the smart thing to do, because reactions are tainted with the bad connotations of doing things like impulsivity, anger, and a lot of stress and fear, which do not conduct to a productive environment. So what do we see here? We see that people who possess high emotional intelligence are meant to do, they're faced with the reality that they have to do the right thing. They have to do the right thing for their team. But you see, life is faced with a less simpler place of options. Options are fuzzy out there. You choose one and it could go wrong or it could go well. You never really know how well you're going to turn out. So what happens with highly emotional intelligent people is that they become paralyzed because they have to kind of calculate everything here and there to decide which of them is the best option. But reality check, there is no better option. There is no best option. In fact, you don't even know what a best option would be like. This means that people who have a lot of high emotional intelligence are not very well equipped to handle uncertainty. And it makes sense, right? Logically, you follow emotional intelligence and it's supposed to decide the best outcome, the best known outcome. And when you take into consideration that the best choice, you have to know it before you actually choosing. However, in life, in the workplace, it's full of uncertainty, meaning that you can't fully estimate how well things are going to turn out. And this is why a person with high emotional intelligence will always choose the simpler answer, will always choose what has worked. However, when they're presented with new evidence, with new facts, with new choices, they become paralyzed because they have not seen it. This is the great dilemma of life, which is full of chaos. You're not always faced with two simple answers, with two simple choices. And here's where true leaders come into the role. They have to face uncertainty eye to eye and not be swayed by anything like that. They must be be able to control their stress, their anxiety, even fear. They must look at it with strength and be able to compose that strength into the people who he is leading. Those are the people that are going to be successful, being able to be okay with uncertainty. You cannot control certain aspects in your life, but what you can control is your response to certain things, which smoothly resonates with the second point, and that is that too much emotional intelligence could lead to people pleasing. And let me tell you, in a leader, you do not want a leader that is always pleasing the people. Now, of course, the leader does want to please its people, but not just to please them, but rather to ensure a deeper meaning, a deeper goal of where they want to be, and it could be at a cost of hurting their feelings. You see, a person that has a lot of emotional intelligence gets to understand and fully understand that his decisions will affect that of others, the emotions of others, the emotions of you, the emotions of the leader. I mean, very drastically, it could make or break someone's day, and that is a lot of pressure to put on yourself and really think about it. Having high emotional intelligence means that you're more moved, that you're more emotional, that you feel more about the impact that you have on other people. So this can drive the high emotional intelligent person into ways of lessening the truth, lessening the effort, ensuring that the person is not fully affected by the harsh truth that is required in order to change. Highly emotional intelligent people are not really okay with conflict, with the anger that could come from said truth, and even more, the disappointment that this choice can lead to. It could lead to losing a friend, it could lead to losing trust, but ultimately leaders need to take this responsibility on their shoulders. You see, a good leader is able to tell the harsh truth eye to eye to the person that really needs it. You know, this is what some tough love means, right? They are able to sacrifice, making you feel uncomfortable, making you feel even sad, angered, and even disappointed, to exchange growth, to exchange for success in the long term. Now, for someone who is leading you, you need someone that is able to look at your eyes and tell you what you're doing is not enough. It is way below your limits, and I know you can do a whole lot more. Leaders need to be able to take this burden, need to be able to be strong enough to take the retaliation of any of his decisions and comments to the people. You see, leaders are faced with the consequence of what they choose. They are faced with the choice that people might not follow him anymore. They are faced with the fact that they can be wrong. They are faced with the fact if they are wrong, they're going to lose a lot. And that requires a lot of strength, a lot of internal strength that a lot of people might not be able to deal with. So what does this mean to you? If you want to be a leader, that means that you have to be able to develop your mental toughness, because out there it is very troublesome, it is very harsh, the world is chaotic, but you must be able to have enough strength to face your fears, to face anxiety, and tell it, you know what, I'm going to decide for myself, and ensure that you have unshakable strength that requires that merit. For this reason, if you want to learn more about mental toughness, I highly recommend that you watch this video on David Goggins. He's an amazing mental toughness type of guy. Also, in the comments, let me know what makes you mentally tough. We can share some ideas back and forth. Anyway, you have a good day.